Good day everyone, I'm Try to Thrive, and today, Frontier's very first Planet Zoo DLC has officially launched, the Arctic Pack, something that I and everyone else who loves this game have been following since they first teased it, and it's great to finally have it. And also, I want to quickly mention, if you can hear rain in the background, that's because it's rain. And, yeah, sorry, I can't control the weather. This is part one of a 4-part series where we are going to take a look at all 4 of the brand new animals in each video in a detailed manner. We're going to go through them bit by bit and follow some instructions so we make sure we get a good look at just about everything, hence the title. Now obviously we can't see everything about this animal, but I'm going to try and get as much as I can. Here's the way we're going to do it. When we bring in an animal, the first thing we're going to look at is whatever gender we got first, and then take a look at the other gender, and then after that we're going to watch them. We're gonna watch them just for a little bit and see what they do regularly, just like them walking around and doing regular things. I'll also make sure we for sure see them swim and climb up higher terrain and all that stuff. And then of course we're also going to watch them eat and drink, and then we're also going to watch them interact with both food and toy enrichments. And then lastly, we're going to compare them to other similar animals and watch them fight with either that animal or another one if they can't fight with the one they're similar to. That's a rough idea of basically the kind of instructions I want to follow as we go through each animal. Some animals that are more unique, like the bighorn. I was about to call it bighorn sheep. My bad. The Dall sheep. I will make sure we try and test out things like the rock terrain and whatnot, and of course things like the polar bear, which we're about to take a look at. We have to for sure see it swim. I really am excited to see it swimming, see if it's any different from any other bear. And yeah, so anyway, without further ado, let's just go ahead and begin by bringing in our first polar bear to this quick little habitat I made for the polar bear. I say a little, it's pretty big, but I think it's adequate enough for this video. Let's just go ahead and begin. Okay, so at this time I was putting in the male polar bear and eventually the female, and at this point in the video, this is where I took the most amount of time to look at both genders and in general, just the polar bear in general, just watch them walk around for a little while and just, of course, swim as well, and just enjoy them for what they are. Now, you may wonder why there's no audio to the actual world itself. Now, right now, this is an audio overdue. When I actually recorded me talking while filming all of this, I didn't realize that the sound of the game was so high and it was so loud it completely overpowered what I was saying, and I was like, alright, screw it, I'm gonna have to either completely overdo the audio or redo the entire footage, and obviously I went with the less work choice, thank gosh, for me. But anyway though, yeah, there's not a whole lot to say here. There's just lots of good footage of both the male and female walking around. Now, as I said, this is the male polar bear, and also there's a couple things I actually want to talk about that I thought the polar bears would do. I just like the other, because it's pretty obvious they have the exact same bear animation rig as the other bears in the game. Now there are some things I kept my eye out to see. For example, the bears actually sitting down on their bums like the other bears do. Oh, and also, as you can see at this point, I was pointing out how much land and water space the polar bears need. They need so much, it's honestly really ridiculous. Now I know it's more realistic considering their actual environment, but it's just so ridiculous here. I really don't know what to think. At least it's realistic. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, some things I hoped to see the polar bears do, like the other bears, would be to sit on their bums and just kind of scratch their bellies, which is kind of a continuous animation that all the bears have. But I never really spotted it. They'll sit on their bums, but only for like a quick second before getting up and moving again. They're actually quite active, and when they do sleep, they sleep for a while. They kind of just, if they're active, and they're tired, and they're pretty focused on each, and so it does feel somewhat different from the other bears, right? It's a little different. For example, I also have occasionally seen them stand up just for a split second before instantly getting back down, which is something I don't see all the bears. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think any other bear has done before in the game. It's just the polar bear now, which is good. It's realistic. That's how it is with polar bears. They will stand up on their legs to look across the ice to find a meal. And as you can see here is actually the female polar bear. I had to send her to the vet because she was full of scars. We got that taken care of. But yeah, she is substantially smaller than the male. And other than that, though, they look very similar, of course. And yeah, now there's not much else to say about this part of it. I'm just going to go ahead and be quiet for a little bit, let the music go up a little bit, and you can just sit back and watch these two animals make their way around. And then we'll eventually move on to the next part, which will be the babies. And out popped some babies. In fact, 2 of them, which actually kind of surprised me. I didn't really think about it, but some animals in the game have multiple children at once, and it makes sense for the polar bear to have 2 because there are so many polar bear documentaries out there, and almost every single time they almost always show a mother polar bear and her children, and it's almost always 2 children. Hardly will ever see 1 or 3. And so it's kind of nice that they did the same thing here. And yeah, anyway, the children, the baby polar bears are just so unbelievably adorable, of course, as we all expected, right? I mean, look at them, they're so cute. So darn cute. You can never get over them. Yeah, there were some things, and I'll tell you right now, there was a really cool animation that I absolutely wanted to show you, but I was not able to get footage of. I saw it once, and as you can see there, and that was actually one of the best ones right there, seeing a baby polar bear stand up on its hind legs and tumble back over like a child. It's just great. But I saw a really unique animation between the siblings. They came up to each other, both on 2 hind legs, tackled, wrestled, and pushed each other over like 2 little brothers, which is basically what they were. I mean, I don't really remember the genders, but anyway, they were playing with each other like young siblings, as they are, and it was just so cute. Unfortunately, when I saw it, I was not able to record the footage of it. I was in like fast motion, and it happened so quickly. I was like, oh darn it, I couldn't find it again. But if you really want to go find it, then definitely check it out for yourself in the DLC if you have it, or when you're gonna get it, or if you ever get it. But anyway, though, another thing I wanted to talk about really quickly was the fact that the polar bear babies, of course, just like all the babies in the game, will follow their mothers, but for some reason it feels extra special here because you always see that on the documentaries. You always see like a big mother walking ahead with her 2 kids behind her, and it's exactly how it is in the game, and I really wanted to point that out. It was really nice. And yeah, so after the babies, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the enrichment items. And here they are with the food enrichment. I managed to capture the father rolling, oh no, it was the mother, my bad, rolling the I don't know, I forgot the name of it, but anyway, though, it was really cool. I even got a really good perspective on it. I was right underneath the rolling pin when she did it. Oh, look, crap. Another reason it took me so long to get this, because I didn't realize the zookeeper had to come fill it up. I always thought that they were instantly filled up, but I guess not. And so here's where the polar bear does its power, grabs the wheel and just spins the heck out of it to get the food. And I gotta tell you, it's just so cool to see a beast like this just having at it with an object. You know, it's kind of interesting to watch, even if it's just a video game. It feels really real. And here's the really cool perspective I talked about. That's so good. I love it so much. And then the next part, we actually take a look at one of the new enrichment items, the Christmas box. And there it is, and it's really cool what happens with it. They end up playing with it, and it ends up falling on top of the bear's back, and it's great. Yeah, a really cool new enrichment item with this winter update. Very awesome. And here's where the comparison starts. So to compare, of course, I brought in a full adult male grizzly bear up against the full adult male polar bear, and as you can see, of course, realistically, the polar bear is longer and broader, and when we actually get to the fight in a moment, you'll see how freaking powerful the polar bears are. And in this next shot, I was originally talking about how I was worried, because at this point I turned off the safety, I guess. I turned on the fighting, and I was really worried about the baby polar bears' lives, but luckily nothing happened to them. Instead, Mama came in and attacked, and here it is. Now, this happened so fast and so just crazy, I was not able to get good footage of it. I'm sorry for that, but basically, Mama charged out, hit the grizzly bear in one hit, and it was dead. I just couldn't even believe it. It happened so fast, I wasn't ready for it. And if anything, the polar bear is too overpowered. I would have liked to see an actual paw-on-paw fight, but it just didn't happen. Anyway, though, the grizzly bear was out cold, dead, you know, but I couldn't believe how powerful the polar bear was. And maybe there is actual fight animation between these two, but I just didn't take the time to get it. Either way, though, for sure, naturally, realistically, the polar bear wins. And, you know, of course, Frontier got it correct. And so that is basically it, you guys. That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. This is, like I said before, the first part of 4, where we'll be looking at every single animal in the game and enjoying. And also, as you can see in the sky right there, you can see the new Aurora Borealis, and it is so beautiful. But yeah, now as we hit every new animal, I'm going to be ranking them one by one, and obviously I can't really rank the polar bear when it's the only one to talk about, but I can tell you right now, I really, really like it. It's so beautiful, as we all come to expect. I'm very happy with it. It feels somewhat more unique than I thought it was going to be, and it may even be now my favorite. And yeah, so anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please remember to like button and subscribe. Check out my Discord in the description below, and I will catch you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.